Video, I'm going to talk about some different parts of this cabinet installation. First thing I'll notice is the doors have been adjusted before we left. Second thing I'd like to say is this filler has got a back cut to it and it's tight all the way down. Not a 16th even. Good job. This side tight all the way down. This may have had to get cut, it may not have, maybe the shop gave us the right size. But even so, we put a screw through there to ensure that it stays tight over a long period of time. There's a gap back here, but that's all right. Got exactly the right dimension, 24 inches. This filler is a little bit proud of the face frame. This cabinet and face frame are flush. This toe kick is got to be a 1/4 inch proud to reach that. This toe kick was flush, just like this. The toe kick vent is carefully cut in and located. The hardwood floor has to go all the way underneath it. Inside corner is tight. This piece of toe kick is tight. Walking in this room, doors are very well adjusted. Crown molding to the ceiling by someone else. This filler is super tight the whole way down. The installer actually told me that he made a small mistake, and on this other side we ended up putting a small filler in to the wall, and rather than adding to the other side. And we're going to ask the builder to paint that the wall color. It should just go right away. This molding was installed in the shop, and the molding here probably should have had a return on it back to this face frame, or this cabinet should have been built to set back from this one, so that you could have encapsulated that. But we ended up painting this in the field, and I bet you it looks good. It's a painted cabinet, so we used painted fast caps. Put all the shelves in there. This particular shelf had the spoon shelf pin. It's a 1 inch thick shelf. We've already put protection on this cabinet. But you can see it's nicely done. We planned well for it. All the fillers are tight and it has protection on it. The doors have been nicely adjusted, and we put the ladder on there. They sent the ladder out and we cut it to fit. Then we sent it back to the shop to be finished. We were told by the builder where to put this receptacle, and it works because there's a real deep cavity for the dishwasher. This measures 30 inches. Dishwasher really only needs about 24. So this receptacle, typically this wouldn't even be enough. You need about 3 inches for a receptacle. So the plastic box will stick into the dishwasher area, but there'll be enough room for that. We cut it out the same size as a regular receptacle. An electrician can just screw it right down into our panel. Put a filler on both sides. We scribed this cabinet real nicely to the floor. A lot of work. You see the plumbing on this cabinet came up from the floor. It hit nicely towards the back of the cabinet, and even on the right hand side like that. That'll give a homeowner a nice efficient use of this space. This refrigerator cabinet, the ladder actually hangs on that rail on the right hand side. It'll be hung on there when in use, and then when not in use, we're going to put another rail there. And it'll store there. This fridge cabinet was cut to fit onto the ground tightly. And when the installer was installing it, he had to clip that corner of the cabinet just a little so we could stand it up. It's quite difficult with this ceiling in to not drag it against the ceiling or hit a beam. Again, filler to cabinet, nice big screw. That'll ensure that that filler stays tight forever. It's a big countertop cabinet that will fit on top of this elevation, but they got to put the countertop on first, then we'll run all the wiring. This is for a plug that's actually in a drawer. This hood, they gave us an exact dimension to hold these cabinets away from each other. There's going to be a hood that pushes air into that HVAC duct. This will all be tile backsplash. Then you've got a range. We added a 1/16 to the range dimension. It's 36-inch range, but I wanted him to give us 36 and a 1/16 because the range is indeed 36 exactly, and they're real big and heavy. Installer screwed the cabinet down to the floor. No reason not to do that. That hood and island, they center up well. So you're gonna have the center of the sink landing on the center of the cooktop, on the center of the hood, and then on the center of the beams. Got a nice trash pull-out cabinet with a drawer above. The drawer right now is being modified. It's a different room, but the cabinet's nicely scribed to the floor. The corner bead, there's a nice gap here so we can put a nice bead of caulk up against the wall. Panel mold does not protrude past the corner bead, and it goes all the way up. Of course, the cabinet designer did a good job dictating all that, and then the cabinet shop made it the right size, and then the installer executed a good job by putting caulk all the way up. You can see there a little bit the caulk has shrunk, but it still looks good. Doors are lined up nicely all the way down the cabinet. Blue tape helps us open the doors while we wait for the final hardware to be given to us. A nice hinge. This adjusts it up and down. This adjusts it front to back. This adjusts it in and out. Doors nicely shutting against a bracket in this position. If the cabinet shop had made a mistake, it might open that way or it might over close. Would want to keep an eye out for that, but they did a nice job. We didn't have to do any modification. This little thing, due to the backside interference with the stringer on the stairs, the designer asked us to raise this up 6.5 inches off the floor. There was a wall cleat on the wall. There's a U-shaped notch for this to be received, and it's very sturdy as it would need to be. Coming down the stairs, that thing will be grabbed quite a bit. This rail will go away and a new one put in its place. Finally, this protection, I don't want it to go back into the appliances because the appliance guy is going to put it on, and I don't want there to be protection here. I want the protection to be about 1/2 inch below the countertop so that the granite installer can put a bead of caulking right here. They like to do that. And if it's touching, they'll have to remove this. The goal is that this protection will stay on until the end of the job. And then this is off the wall all the way down so the trim carpenter can run base. The painter can do a nice job painting and nobody has to remove that protection. Same thing on the island, of course. Going across there about 1/2 inch gap. We're short of the dishwasher. And then I've already pre-cut so the plumber is able to do his work easily without a lot of problems. And even if he doesn't shut the door all the way, it won't be easy. It won't be hard to protect his cabinets. This island also had a couple pocket screws put in there. and a couple pocket screws put in on the other side. That ensures 24 inches is indeed there when the granite guy comes in. And it would have been a good idea to put another piece up at the top to hold this at 24, because, you know, a top could easily move this, you know, a quarter of an inch out of the way, or it'd be too tight. And it just makes a callback for us when the dishwasher guy says the dishwasher won't fit. So everybody likes this doggy gate. Pushes into the cabinet. Put a ring pull on there at some point. Just has wheels on the floor that go back. And inside the cabinet, there's a nice service access. So if we ever need to do some service to it, we actually had to do quite a bit of work to that floor to get those wheels to roll quickly and quietly and easily through this. There's the service back. There's the one last shelf. As time goes on, we'll finish that up. We have a nice garage to store the last few cabinets. This is a big countertop cabinet. This is an appliance panel. These are some other appliance doors that we will install at some point, but they're nicely stacked together. They're on pillows or blankets or cardboard. They're wrapped up nicely. It's a very tight space. It's efficient use of the space. These doors aren't laid inappropriately, although this is quite a steep angle. It's better for something like that to be stood up straight up and down or laid down on its side. It's a much better way to store a door that's that tall. The other ones are adequately put down. This is a glass cabinet. We'll need a lot of help to unload it from the truck. It's a light trough. They're gonna put a wire through here and drill for puck lights. There's a wire in there in the house for that already. This particular job had a dumpster, had a nice area to store our cabinets, had a pretty challenging walk up the stairs with all the cabinets. We actually brought a lot of them through the back of the house. And that about it.